This is the Colosseum, sitting on over 6 acres of land and massive enough to seat crowds of up to 80,000 people. Well, people came here to see gladiators battle to the death. Yes, you heard that right. And that's because besides other things that took place here, the Colosseum is also remembered as where the Romans brought their fantasies of death to life.
Built by the Romans and completed in AD 80, this colossal masterpiece was originally known as the Flavian Amphitheater. It is the most famous monument in the whole of Rome. With a length of 615 feet, a width of 640 feet, and a height of 159 feet, this amphitheater is best described as gigantic. In fact, despite being close to 2,000 years old, the Colosseum is still the largest amphitheater in the world. But the big question is how and why this almost 2,000-year-old building still fascinates the world. Perhaps more than anything else, it's because of the amazing amount of engineering expertise that went into piecing the structure together. The Colosseum has a shade on the upper floor to protect VIP spectators from sunlight. It was also designed to allow for effective crowd control with enough exits to completely empty the arena in minutes. But probably the most impressive part of the Colosseum is the underground tunnel from where the gladiators emerged, greeting the cheering crowd by chanting, "We who are about to die, salute you." The Colosseum was officially opened in 80 CE by Emperor Titus, with 100 days of intensive and sometimes brutal games. One major attraction was the free food shared among spectators, as the emperor used this means to gain popularity and support. The gesture proved to be effective, but the bloody scenes of gladiator fights were what the Romans wanted to see the most. On average, about 65,000 people came to witness these brutal fights. Ancient Romans absolutely loved these games. At fight intervals, the elite would often go out for lunch, while executions entertained the spectators. Christian faithful were usually the victims, and many are regarded as martyrs by the Roman Catholic Church. It would also interest you to know that to celebrate the opening of the Colosseum, Emperor Titus staged a mock sea battle at the Games. For the battle, the Colosseum was filled with water from a nearby lake passing beneath the underground channels. This created an artificial island at the center of the Colosseum where the gladiators landed to fight. Titus then ordered a special flat-bottomed ship into the arena, with about 3,000 condemned prisoners taking part in the battle. The historic battle between Athens and Syracuse was then replicated to the pleasure of a cheering crowd. Unfortunately, many of the prisoners drowned and died while the few survivors were shown mercy. However, the Romans didn't only use their slaves for brutal entertainment, they also put them to productive use. In fact, this massive edifice was built by enslaved Jews, numbering about 60 to 100,000 of them. Work started in 70 CE during Emperor Vespasian's reign until his son, Titus, took charge. Even though Titus opened the arena in 80 CE, his younger brother Domitian would eventually do the honors of completing the Colosseum in 81 CE. Up till the 6th century, the games went on. But as civilization swept the world, things changed as looting became rampant in the Colosseum, with natural disasters like earthquakes destroying parts of it. In the 17th century, the Roman Catholic Church took over the Colosseum with Pope Benedict XVI, initiating a holy procession known as the Way to the Cross on Good Fridays. This Roman Catholic tradition has continued till date, with remembrance ceremonies being held for Christians killed at the Colosseum centuries back. Today, its half-standing rubbles is the most visited monument in Rome, attracting 6 million people annually. Tourists flock into the arena to see historic sites like the museum on the upper floor dedicated to Eros, the god of love in Greek mythology. In 2010, The underground passages that once kept wild animals and gladiators were opened for public viewing, along with guided tours of other areas within the Colosseum. So what are your thoughts on the bloodbaths that took place in the Colosseum? Do you think the Colosseum inspired the structure of modern-day stadiums? Let us know in the comments section.